Hi guys, welcome to the ADAtalks podcast. I am Ada and I like to focus on topics surrounding the black community and the urban community, colorism, racism, and all these other subjects that are in pop culture today. Now, I want to end colorism. I am on a mission to end colorism, to end racism, to end discrimination against any type of group that has been disadvantaged. Okay, this is 2022. We don't have time for that. Okay, we should be having cryptocurrency and flying cars. We shouldn't even be stuck in the 1920s with the segregation, racism, slavery, all of that still shouldn't be going on. Okay, well, different skin tones, can we just get over that? We've been knowing this for quite some time now, so I don't understand why we're still stuck on this. Like, it's really tripping me out. So today is the birth of my very first podcast and I am so happy. I've tried to start a podcast before, but I really was occupied with other things, but now I think it's the time. And today's topic we're going to centralize around this other podcast, well, one particular clip, not the whole podcast, because we don't care about these people because they're colorists. We don't care about colorists, but we're going to focus on a clip I saw on the Shade Room. And this podcast, you probably already know, it's actually been on everywhere. It's called Fresh&Fit, and they are self-proclaimed podcast that helps men with fitness and fashion and dating and all that stuff. You know, those red pill, blue pill type of guys that feel like women should bow down before them and all that stuff. So these are these people here, and these two people who are the main protagonists in the podcast are black, I believe. I think one's half black, and I think the other, I know, if you look at this guy, I know that the other guy is fully black. Now, on this clip I saw on the Shade Room, it's still up there if you want to see it. It's one of their very first clips on their page, but they upload a lot, so it might just go down a little bit, but it's still on the top of their page. They're basically saying that their dating preferences isn't black girls. And you know what? I don't care. Like, who cares? That's not a problem if you don't, you go for other races more than you go for your own race. It's not a huge problem. I mean, well, it is, but it's not something to kind of lose your hair over. But then they go on to degrade and basically insult black girls, okay? And there's a lot of self-hatred. There's a lot of racism. I don't even want to use the word colorism, because colorism makes it seem like it's like a lighter issue than it is. When you use the R word, you know it's serious. And this is serious. There's a lot of racism because these people aren't really black. No. Their skin is brown, but their mind, their thoughts, it coming from a racist, non-black place, okay? They're thinking like a racist, non-black person, okay? Their skin is brown, but their mind is racist white, okay? So basically, they are saying that they don't like black girls. They're not into the LaQuishas or the Shaniquas, they're not down with the brown. They're not night riders.
Bro, if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go for it, man.
LaQuisha.
Yeah, like me and Fresh aren't really down with the brown like that. Man. We ain't night riders.
Nah, so bro, I'm good.
Sometimes
they're basically degrading black women on their show. And one of the things I always think about when it's mostly black men that do this. Black women don't really do that because black women don't have the time for this shit. It's black men that do this. One of the main things I realize is, like, this is why non-black people look at us and they laugh at us. This is why. This is why non-black people look at us as a bottom tier, because our mindset as black people is very weak. Very weak. So weak to the point that we have let other people create this ideology of what beauty is, of what is the pinnacle of society, what it is to be. And we have convinced ourselves that we are not that. We have embodied this so much, been brainwashed so much, our minds are so weak that it's infiltrated us so much. We believe that about ourselves. Isn't that sad? To the point we've got our own black men, whether you're half or you're a quarter or you're full, up here openly degrading black women for validation from other races. Now, if that doesn't say weak to me, what is? What is weak then? Just to compare it, when you guys call other guys simps for easily falling into, a woman's desires, or chasing another woman, or wanting to please her, or wanting to fit in, or wanting to get something from her. You call them weak, you call them simps, right? So why don't you do the same for black men who openly degrade and dehumanize and insult black women for the validation of other races? Why don't they get the same energy? He's a simp, he's a simp, he's a simp. But when they're colorist, it's their preference. They're allowed to date who they want. They don't have to date you guys. And what they do is turn it around on us, making it seem like we are the problem. Black women aren't the problem. Black women are far from the problem. Okay? Black women are far from the problem. And this is what black men will do. They wear fake hair, they wear weaves, they want to be white, they wear all this makeup, and they do this and they do that. There are loads of black women out there who look natural, who have natural hair, who don't wear makeup, who don't have attitudes, who don't have all these stereotypical things that you say about black women, and you still do not date them. You know why? It's not to do with their hair. It's not to do with the way they look. It's not to do with the way they act, because there's Latinas who are very feisty and fiery, the white ones. There's white women who are like that, who you guys love. It's nothing to do with that. You just hate black skin. And what do we call people who hate black skin, who discriminate against people because of their skin tone? We call them racist. I don't even want to use the word colorist, because, as I said, it makes it seem like it's softer than it is. These are men who have brown and black skin, who think like the KKK. I'm sorry to say. These are white racists inside. They are white racists, and they can't be particularly racist to black men, because that's too close to home. So it's easy to other themselves by degrading the black women. Like, really? You guys are racist. You guys are racist. Because you think that you are of this place of superiority. I can't even say it. Damn! You think that you are superior. Superior enough to other yourself from a black woman, even though you are black. Now tell me, in your head, does that make sense? And they go on to say in their other podcasts to clear up their shit, to sweep. And the thing about these kind of guys, right? The blue pill, the red pill, whatever guys, they want to be so alpha males. So they're trying to clean up their mess because they're getting cancelled. But they're trying to be alpha about it, like, our mothers are black. Okay, your mothers are black. Okay, so that doesn't make your point better. It actually just makes everything 10 times worse, 100 times worse. Because you having black mothers coming out of a black woman's vagina, Your first entrance into the world was through a black woman, the black woman who raised you. They didn't even mention their black dads, their black fathers, the black mothers, the black women that raised you. The best you can do is to insult them when you've become famous, or when you have a little bit of fame and a little bit of money. The best thing you can do is other them and insult them, like we're not down with the LaQuishas and Shaniquas. Oh, so your mum is a LaQuisha and Shaniqua? Is that what your mum is? Is that what your cousins, your female cousins, your aunties, your grandma? Is that what they are? And they'll say, oh, we're not talking about my mum. We're not talking about this. We're not talking about my family members. We're talking about... Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are talking about them. No matter if you don't, even if you don't like black women as a black man, and, you know, that says a lot about you. Don't go into the public space and degrade us, because it makes you look stupid. And this is why they laugh at us, because they say, oh, these people are stupid. They're dumb. They're weak-minded. That's why they call us slaves. Even if your ancestors weren't slaves, that's why they call black people slaves. Because being a slave, the reason why being called a slave is, or being called the N-word is so dehumanizing, is because being a slave is equated to weakness. You're being weak. You're being weak. You are the product of somebody brainwashing you, and you're going out there and proving their point right. Like, look at them. They're even so brainwashed, they're going out there and hating on their own. There's some white men who do not date white women. They don't care. It's all about the black woman for them. But you do not see one. I haven't seen one go on national TV and degrade a white woman and call them Beckys and call them this and say they're that and say they don't have lips or any stereotypical thing that a white woman has or does that they don't like. They don't do that. Asian men don't do that. But guess who does that? Black men. Now, I am so upset at myself because I continue to just be attracted to black men and black men only. I'm trying to change that about myself. I'm really trying to change it about myself because I am tired. I am stressed because I keep seeing things like this come up. Now, what I want to give you is a thinking point. I really want people to learn things from my podcast and give a thinking point, because we need to change. I don't really see the point in having podcasts talking about things or having conversations when it doesn't do anything. We need to change. What I want, first of all, I don't want any black man to go on in public spaces and degrade black women. Anybody who does that shit is cancelled indefinitely. I don't care if you know how to sing or you know how to dance or you play football or you play basketball or whatever you know how to fucking do. You're cancelled, and nobody's going to support you because you can't be openly racist. And I am supporting you as a black woman. Am I mad? Am I sick? No. I'm done with this. I'm actually done. Like, if you support any black man or black woman who goes openly in spaces and degrades black women or black men, you're a raccoon. You're a raccoon, and your black card should be revoked. You should be downgraded to a basic account until you know how to behave. Get out of here, like, seriously. No. Like, seriously, I'm tired of it. Black women do not deserve, like, this is why it's so hard to be a black woman out on these streets, because you wake up one day and people are just insulting you and you're like, what did I do? I just did my my lock method and went to bed. You wake up and your bonnet just discombobulated, like, wow, what did I do again? White women don't get this. Latina women don't get this. Asian women don't get this. You just wake up and you just see a black man saying, oh, I don't date Laquishas. Huh? What? So any black man or someone who claims to be black, because it's claims, like it's not real. They're really doing the Rachel Dolezal there, because we need to check their DNA. Anybody that claims to be black and is out here openly degrading their own race is cancelled. They're not going to receive our support. I don't care who you are. That's number one. Number two is, if you have a preference, you can't see my hands, I'm just going to insert a picture of it. Preference. Keep that shit to yourself. And if you do hate black women, or you do disdain black women, or you do not want to date black women or black men, if there's, I know there's women out there, black women out there who don't like black men, I advise you to seek therapy. This is not even a joke. You might need some counseling, because it's actually deep-rooted self-hatred, and that ain't cute. That ain't cute. It's a learned behavior. Thanks to I am a Aloho who basically broke this down. This type of shit is learned behavior. Nobody is born hating black women. Nobody is born hating black men, hating themselves. It's something they grew up to learn. So you can unlearn that. And I would suggest you seek a very good therapist to work out your issues. Because what these men are saying is, if a woman who walked into that room who looked exactly like those Fresh and Fit nonsense and rubbish people that they're doing their podcast, if someone actually came in and walked in, a woman who looked exactly like them too, what they're saying, they say you won't date them. That's self-hate. That's self-hate, boo-boo. Because if I saw a man that looked like me, bro, I'm on their ass. So what's going on? You need therapy. So let's just start doing that. Stop supporting raccoons. And for you raccoons, go seek therapy. Okay? I don't have any more to say on this topic. I'm going to break down the whole preference thing, because preference is a huge thing in the black community in dating, and it's basically used to mask colorism and racism, but I will get into that in my next podcast. So if you just click on the next video and watch my podcast breaking down the preference and the what, and why the word preference doesn't really exist with colorism. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The preference word is just a cover-up. It's just a cap. It's not real. It doesn't make sense the way that you guys use it. So just click on that video and let me break that preference, and I'll tell you why anybody that uses preference, the word preference, is a racist and a colorist. I'm sorry. Okay? Thank you for coming and watching my podcast. This is Ada, and you've been watching and listening to ADAtalks. Okay? If you like this video, put a thumbs up, click the thumbs up, leave a comment. Let's start the discussion. I'll put my socials on there. Let's talk. And if you feel like I'm wrong, if you disagree with me, leave a comment, but don't be disrespectful. Remember, I'm a black woman. Don't be disrespectful now. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.